Hello and welcome to One Trinity Place in San Antonio, Texas. We're here for Senior Sunday, the final home game of the regular season for the Trinity Tigers as they host the Southwestern Pirates for Game 3 of this series. Tigers taking the first two games, going for the sweep today. As you see the visiting Southwestern lineup on your screen, same as it's been for the last three games. Connor Duffy will lead things off. James Vicero hitting second, 2 hits away from his 200th career hit. Wyatt Kulo at first. Christian Milio, followed by Trace Organ, Jordan Coronado, Tanner Tefts at third, Logan Wilson in center, and then Ben Foyer at short to round things out in the 9-hole. And on the mound for the Tigers, it'll be our special guest from yesterday and the special guest in the batter's box yesterday, trying to walk things off. Trajan Lee, 6-0 record on the year, 4.66 ERA and 48 innings pitched and change. He's got a strikeout per inning pitched pretty much, 48 on the year. He'll be set to make the start in Game 3 on Senior Day. Connor Duffy will step into the batter's box. 296 hitter on the year. First pitch. And we're underway with a swing on the first pitch. Hit into left field, and it falls all the way into the corner by the 310 mark. Connor Duffy headed in for second. He's got a sliding lead-off double.
Call. It's first pitch, first hit. That's what the Pirates want. Get a double. This runner in scoring position immediately.
And James Vicero will come up to the plate. I just realized I didn't introduce us. I'm Cole Isaacson, joined alongside Reed Rosales. Good start for the Pirates. Man on second. Vicero looks to bunt. Take strike one. That happens sometimes. Sometimes you forget to introduce. That is what it is. Lee in a 1-0 count. Fouled off, excuse me, it's 0-2 now with the foul ball. Mentioned it at the top, Vicero 2 away from career hit number 200. Had a hit in his final at-bat in last night's game to get to 198. They throw off the backside, but not in time to get Duffy. Slides in safely.
That was a good attempt to try and catch him sleeping, but he noticed just in time to slide back any later, and that might have been a problem.
0-2. Fouled off. We'll do it again. Vicero, one of the more dangerous hitters in this Southwestern lineup. Hitting .429 coming into the weekend. He's had a hit in each of the 2 games in this series. Multiple hits in Game 1, only held to 1 hit in yesterday's game. 0-2. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Foul tipped into the glove of Lazaro, 1 down in the inning.
A good bounce back for Lee after giving up the leadoff double. It's definitely what he needs. A couple of struggling starts in the past couple of weekends. We'll see if that strikeout is indicative of future success today.
Wyatt Kulo coming up to the plate, the first baseman, a .327 hitter on the year. OPS over 800. First pitch, a strike from Lee. Kulo 0 for 4 in yesterday's game. Trying to bring in the first run for Southwestern. They have a runner on. Throw to second to try and get him, but Duffy able to dive back safely.
They tried the pickoff with the shortstop and with the second baseman now running to try and tag him.
Pitch to Kulo. Finds the zone. Strike called. Now 0-2. Lee trying to bounce back after giving up the leadoff double. Pirates held scoreless in yesterday's game. The Tigers winning 9-0. 0-2. High, misses for ball 1. In Game 1, the Pirates were able to jump on the Tigers, get the early lead. 1-0 after 1. They were up 3-1 after 3. Trinity winning that game 9-5, going for the sweep today. 1-2. Misses away. Lazaro has to reach across his body to get it. a 2-2 pitch. It was 0-2. Lifted in the air, but foul out of play behind the ballpark. You mentioned the struggles for Trajan Lee lately. His last start, 2.2 innings pitched against the University of St. Thomas. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks, 7 runs, 5 of them earned. And unfortunately for Lee, that has been the recent trend in his last several starts. Ballooned his ERA to 4.6. The 2-2 in pitch. Strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Trajan Lee.
He did a good job against that batter, not being phased by losing the 0-2 count, having it increased to 2-2. Strikes him out either way. And it was interesting. That kind of skid started after a really good performance against Dallas, where he nearly no-hit the Crusaders.
Christian Malillo takes strike 1. Malillo held hitless in last night's game, but did have 2 walks. Had a 3-hit game on Friday night. Trying to do more of the same with 2 outs in the first inning. Runner on second for Southwestern. Chopper to second. Lustina will field it, and it's in time. So Lee works around the leadoff double, holds the Pirates scoreless, and the Tigers will come up to bat in the bottom of the first when we come back on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. We're all set for the bottom of the first inning, and the Trinity Tigers lineup on your screen now. Max Milligan will lead things off in right field, followed by Maddox McDonald, Nicholas Lazera, Nick Jones, Will Baker, Brandon Nelson in the DH spot. He hit a grand slam in yesterday's game. Kai Tinker hitting 7th, Michael Lustina at 2nd hitting 8th, and John Ramsey will round things out in the shortstop position. And on the mound for the Pirates, it'll be Greg Ferguson, the senior from Magnolia, Texas, making his 12th appearance, his 8th start of the season. See the numbers for Ferguson on your screen. 0-6 record, a 7.68 ERA. More strikeouts than innings pitched. Those numbers are good, in line with what Southwestern staff has done on the year, but the ERA a little high. Pretty good representation of what the staff has done so far this season. Max Milligan will come up to the plate, a .250 hitter, making his first start of the series. First pitch to Milligan. Misses high, ball 1.
Nicole, this is a bit of an unconventional lineup for the Tigers. Of course, being Senior Sunday, I think a lot more seniors in the lineup.
The 1-0. Misses low, 2-0.
A lot of mainstay guys, but a couple of guys getting in that, normally we don't see Max Milligan leading off.
Getting that opportunity in place of Caleb Woodward. Gets the day off today. 2-0, finds the zone. Ferguson getting the start. He was able to pitch in the prior 2 games, or available to, was not needed. So now gets the start today. Misses inside and low, 3-1. Coach Coach J.C. Bunch saying he wasn't really sure who was going to start this Sunday game. It was all going to depend on how the prior two went. Just works out that Ferguson gets the nod, the 3-1. Lined into right field, and it's a base hit for Max Milligan. Nice way to start his senior day. He's on first.
It's a textbook hit, Cole. The ball was in a really good spot for him to hit. Falls pretty much right down the heart of the plate. Max Milligan, he's a good bat. So he did what he does, just put it into right field. If you give a batter like that a ball down the middle, he's going to hit it.
Maddox McDonald now up to the plate. McDonald, one hit in last night's game, a .363 hitter all told on the season. Thinks about bunting, but pulls it back for ball one. Working with the leadoff runner on first and Milligan. See if they try and get him to second in some way. Milligan takes his lead at first and now has to dive back, does so safely.
And Milligan does have some speed in him, so not the worst idea to check up on Max Milligan.
Works in that leadoff spot. McDonald in a 1-0. Pitch from Ferguson. Hit in the air, center field. Wilson underneath, and he makes the catch in right center for out number one.
He just got under it. It kind of rode in on him a little bit. Tries to golf it out. Ends up being just a can of corn out in center field.
Nick Lazera now coming up to the plate. Vicero with multiple hits in yesterday's game, 2 singles. All told on the season. Tigers' best hitter so far. Milligan will run. The throw into second is well in time, and they get him. Caught stealing for Max Milligan. That's his first in now 6 attempts. Was 5 for 5 before that.
Yeah, and the throw from Vicero, that was way ahead before Milligan got there. This is a very impressive throw. You can see it skips off the ground too, but that didn't matter. Very impressive.
Perfectly done by the senior Southwestern catcher. Base is now empty with 2 down. Lazera takes a strike. Scoreboard in the ballpark says 0-2. Pitch in the dirt, gets away. And that probably would have gotten Milligan to second, so a little unfortunate for the Tigers there. Count 1-2, get confirmation from the umpire. Tigers had a lot of 2-out magic in yesterday's game, getting the grand slam with 2 outs. See what they can do here. Lazera stings one, but foul.
Yeah, it would have been dangerous if fair. It's going to take a while to get the ball. Ever you hit it over there to that umpire, that bullpen's corner, can make getting the ball a bit weird.
Still a 1-2. Ferguson deals in the dirt, 2-2.
It's especially troublesome because on the visitors' bullpen, there is no concrete on the ground for the ball to bounce off of. It just goes off the net.
It's one of those weird things about this ballpark. 2-2, 2 away. Chopper, foul. So we'll do it again. Lazera batting from his left-hand side. Switch hitter. Two down, nobody on for the Tigers in a 0-0 game. 2-2 pitch. Fouled off, going to the Trinity bullpen, and it will land there out of play.
Lazera's putting up a heck of a fight right now. Really making Ferguson work to get him back into the dugout.
Ferguson has given up a base hit. Runner was caught stealing. 2-2. Lined into center field. It's a base hit for Lazera. To the second hit of the day for the Tigers. There's one man aboard with 2 down.
Again, it's nothing flashy. It's kind of put up there for Lazera to take a chop at, and he does. Puts into center field. That's what a lot of the offense for the Tigers, other than Brandon Nelson's grand slam has been, is just get on base with base hits.
Nick Jones coming up to the plate, the cleanup hitter. Hitting a walk in yesterday's game. Takes a strike. And you're exactly right, Reed. It's been a lot of singles lately for the Tigers. They're routinely tallying 10 hits or more, and most of them have been base hits. Pretty unusual this weekend. We've seen as many home runs as we have. Jones takes a pitch inside, 1-1. It's a team that leads the league in walks as well, or the nation, excuse me, in walks as well, and also runs. So pretty good for an offense to lead the country in runs scored. 1-1. Breaking ball misses low. 2-1.
Yeah, both those sets kind of work into each other, because when you walk a lot, you're putting yourself in scoring position a lot usually as well. They go hand in hand.
Team average at .319 coming into this weekend. A considerable step up from last year. Jones hits one into left field. It's falling, and it will be a base hit for Nick Jones. 3 hits and 4 batters for the Tigers, 2 on.
Yeah, and he kind of goes to golf for it. It was breaking down. Still gets a nice piece of the aluminum off of it. And now, runner in scoring position again for the Tigers. They're looking to score first like they did yesterday.
Will Baker, the 5-hole hitter, up to the plate, the first baseman. .364 average on the year. Working with runners on first and second, 2 down in the inning. Take strike 1. One thing we haven't seen a lot this weekend has been the strikeout. That's what Southwestern has done very, very well. Mentioned it in prior games, 17th in the country in Ks per 9. Not something that Trinity does very often. They like to put the ball in play, get a lot of base hits, and that's what they've done. Ground ball down the line, but foul. Would have been trouble if it was fair.
Yeah, sigh of relief for Ferguson, because it was either going down the line or hitting off of the third base bag, to be fair. So you take your sigh of relief, get back on the mound, try and end the inning.
Probably a surprise for Tanner Tefts at third. Will Baker going the other way with that one off the end of the bat. He'll try again, 0-2. Ferguson trying to get out of this inning. Pitch away, good take from the first-year Baker, 1-2.
I think he had an eye for something that Finger trying to get him to chase, so very wise to lay off.
Pitch high. Ferguson trying to finish off this inning. Had 2 down with the number 3 hitter, Nick Lazera, up at the plate. Since then, it's been a single and another single. Will Baker trying to keep the train rolling. The 2-2. Outside, ball 3. And the count runs full with 2 down.
That's a big moment for Ferguson. You do not want to prolong this inning any longer, because now you're giving the Tigers some excitement.
Runners will be on the move with the 3-2 pitch. Outside, ball 4, and that will load the bases with 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, now it's trouble for Ferguson all around. Bases loaded, so you got the force out everywhere, and you just need 1 out. The Tigers have been pretty good at putting balls in play at the beginning of this game, Cole. It's going to be tough, especially with the guy up to bat.
A familiar situation. Brandon Nelson coming up to the plate with the bases loaded. He did the maximum damage in yesterday's game. First pitch taken for a strike, 0-1. Nelson with 5 hits already this series. 3 hits in game 1, 2 hits yesterday. One of them the grand slam that opened things up for Trinity. The 0-1. Fouled off the end of the bat, and 0-2. So the situation getting more familiar as we go along. That grand slam at bat, 0-2. Nelson battled back, fouling pitch after pitch off. See if he can do it here. The 0-2 for Ferguson. That is strike 3, catches the outside part of the plate, and Ferguson will leave the bases loaded. Still a 0-0 game. Southwestern gets out of the jam. They'll be up to bat when we come back for the top of the second. Welcome back to Senior Sunday here on the campus of Trinity University. A 0-0 game between Southwestern and Trinity. Trajan Lee on the mound for his second inning of work, and it'll be Trace Organ up for his first at-bat, a .299 hitter on the season. Played second base in all 3 games of this series and made a pitching appearance in yesterday's game. First pitch from Lee, taken for strike 1. Throughout the broadcast, we'll be spotlighting different seniors. There are, I believe, a total of 15 of them. So we'll go through them one by one on this Senior Sunday. Slider misses away from Lee, 1-1. And what better place to start than with the man on the mound right now, Trajan Lee. First his pitch, 1-1. Line just over the glove of Lustina at second into right field. So a nice start for the Pirates. Lee will be a grad transfer, and he'll play his 5th year somewhere, undecided where. And he'll be getting his NBA. His favorite memory was competing in bunt scrimmages and closing the comeback win against Babson, Game 2 opening weekend last year. I'd say that's a pretty fun memory for all of us as well. This is hit in the air, deep to left field. Jones ranging back and can't make the catch. Skips off the warning track. Oregon at third, and he'll get the red light. So no run will score, but runners on second and third for the Pirates.
That's a good opportunity for the Pirates now. They had a good opportunity in the last inning. They weren't able to make anything of it. They matched the Tigers hit for hit so far in this game. We'll see if they can score the first run.
Tanner Tefts, the third baseman, now coming up to the plate. 1 for 3 in yesterday's game. Pitch away, 86 out of the hand of Lee, who's into some trouble early. Southwestern trying to take the early lead. They try to pick off the runner at third, and oh, safe call. Tiger dugout thought they had him. We'll have to see that.
It was a good back pick by Lazera. See if we get a better look. He wasn't expecting it.
Close play. Inconclusive. 2-0 from Lee in the dirt, and a nice block by Lazera to keep everybody where they are.
And Lee needs to focus up now. It's a 3-0 count. You don't want to have the bases loaded with no outs.
Giving up a single and a double to start off this inning. Runners on first and second. 3-0 pitch to Tefts. High, ball 4. And the bases are filled with Pirates. Nobody out in the inning.
And they're going to try and plunder this for all it's worth. It's a prime opportunity at this point. To not score a run would be almost incredible at this point. But we'll see how Trajan Lee works out of it.
Working against the bottom of the order in Logan Wilson, the number 8 hitter. Struck out twice in yesterday's game, 0 for 3. Take strike 1. Lee trying to find his way out of this inning. Pitching against Wilson, a .248 hitter on the season. Lined into right field. It's a base hit. Oregon will come home and score. Pirates just going station to station. So 1 run in. Southwestern takes the lead.
It's a breaking ball. It was a very impressive hit because you had to really bend down to hit that ball. But he does, and Pirates score. Very nice hit.
Lee in his second inning pitched will face the bottom of the order, Ben Foyer, 0 for 3 in yesterday's game. Coming up with the bases loaded, the Pirates up 1-0. Pitch in the dirt, another nice block by Lazera. Lee has failed to reach the 3rd inning in each of his last 3 starts. Before that, he was lights out, trying to find that version. Pitch high, 2-0. So a friendly hitter's count for Ben Foyer, and that will warrant a meeting from pitching coach Dave Smith. Bases loaded, nobody out. A sticky situation on senior day.
And you have to meet with him here because at this point, you don't want him to walk in a run. I'm sure they have all the faith in the world that the offense can make up this gap pretty easily, but you need to get the mound situated before they come up to bat.
Well, we've got a lot of seniors to get through. Might as well take this visit to get through one more. And why don't we go with the other part of the battery for today? Nicholas Lazera will be going to law school at Texas Tech. His favorite memory is coming out to practice every day and competing in bunt scrimmage. Both Lee and Lazera enjoying bunt scrimmage a lot. Both been important parts of Trinity's success, trying to do more of the same here. Working against Ben Foyer with the bases loaded. The 2-0 pitch misses, 3-0, and in danger of walking in a run. Lee trying to find the first strike of this at-bat, the 3-0. Is high for ball 4, and it's 2-0 Southwestern, an RBI walk for Ben Foyer.
Overall, just it wasn't that competitive of a plate appearance. Just got to watch 4 pitches go across the plate, and there's no reason to swing if you're not confident that Lee's going to give you a strike. Of course, Lazera has seen a lot of baseball here at this field. He's made starts in every year of his career at Trinity, something that not everybody can say.
First pitch from Lee to Connor Duffy. Misses into the dirt. Lazera, an impactful player all 4 years, absolutely, including the year they went to the College World Series. The 1-0 finds the zone, strike 1. Lee working against the top of the Southwestern order now. Bottom of the order has done its job and then some. All 6 Pirates that have come up to bat have reached Ground ball, it's fair, and Baker will just take the out at first. The run will score in the back door. It's 3-0 Southwestern.
Man, at this point, it's just damage control, Cole. Get the first out. Have at least some opportunity for a double play, even if it'll be an unconventional one, if they do turn one. It's kind of unfortunate that it was muscled over to first base. If it was anywhere else, you'd probably get the out at home.
Now James Vicero, 421 hitter on the season, 0 for 1 today. First pitch away, definitely not the guy you want to see up to the plate if you're Trinity. Runners on second and third. Now in a 3-0 game. Pitch from Lee, fouled off into the screen. 1-1.
Sarah's another one of those players that got some postseason experience in his first year. He made an appearance in that UT Dallas Regional, although wasn't a very favorable score when he came in.
Hit in the air to deep right field, back at the wall, onto the warning track, and it hops over. It'll be a ground rule double, and both runs will come in. 5-0 Southwestern, and career hit 199 for James Vicero. He's one away.
And it's a pretty impactful one, Cole. It puts the Pirates up by 5. He is blowing this game open right now. One away from the big milestone. I'm sure he is very, very pleased with himself.
And that will be the day for Trajan Lee. For the third consecutive start, he does not get out of the second inning. We'll have a pitching change in San Antonio. Southwestern up 5-0 on Senior Day. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. Top of the second inning, where the Southwestern Pirates have opened up a 5-0 lead. On the mound for the Tigers now, it's the first-year Will Taylor from Greenwood Village, Colorado. Comes in with an ERA of 0.43 and a 3-0 record. First pitch, a big swing and a miss from Wyatt Kulo. First baseman, 0 for 1 today. He's on with a runner on second. Still only one down in the inning. Opportunity to do more damage. Popped up right above our heads. Onto the roof of the Bell Center. 1, 2, 3. That's it. Now in an 0-2 count for Will Taylor. Trying to limit the damage. Pitch in the dirt. Kulo thought about it. They appeal and no swing. The 1-2 in the dirt again. Kulo being patient. Taylor working quickly, as he usually does. Foul ball off the end of the bat. Kulo staying alive. Taylor giving up his first run of the season against the University of St. Thomas, a solo home run. And to my understanding, the person who hit it, that was his first hit of the season. Pitch misses low. Taylor was ahead 0-2. Now a full count. Southwestern trying to extend their lead. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Kulo down on strikes. First strikeout of the day for Will Taylor.
It's well worked by Taylor. You know, he's a very unconventional pitcher. It takes getting used to. It takes multiple times seeing him, as he's gotten some length in these past couple weekends as needed for the Tigers.
Christian Melillo up to the plate. 333 hitter. Chops one to third. Tinker backs up on it. Now throws across the diamond in time. 2 batters. Taylor gets out of it. However, Southwestern puts up a crooked number. Damage done. It's 5-0 Pirates. We'll be back for the top of the second. Excuse me, the bottom of the second on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the Alamo City. Tigers find themselves down 5-0 in Game 3 of this 3-game series against Southwestern. Kai Tinker will lead things off. The graduate student from Simi Valley, California, hitting .365 on the year. He's been here a while, Reed. Another Tiger that will be graduating after this season. First pitch from Ferguson. Popped up. Onto the roof. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth one was kind of a baby hop. Doesn't know exactly what he'll be doing, but he says he wants to be around sports because it's what he knows and loves best. Maybe thinks he could be a coach in the future. The 0-1 fouled off the end of the bat. Says his favorite memory is winning the SCAC tournament 2 years ago and the dog pile that happened after. Said it was a blast.
And you're right, Cole. He has been around here for a while. His first start came in the 2020 season. It's New Jersey City. That was the series before this. We played DeSales before COVID happened and shut down the season.
The 0-2. Grounded to short. Foyer steps and throws a little high, but in time to get Tinker. 1 down in the inning.
In fact, he might be one of 2 players that is still playing collegiate level baseball who also played before the COVID season happened. So yeah, he is the most tenured Tiger.
Another long tenured Tiger coming up to the plate. Michael Lustina, 292 hitter on the year with 2 home runs. Takes a strike. Lustina, another senior, but unlike most of his teammates, he'll be finishing up his economics and finance major here at Trinity, so likely here for another year using his final year of eligibility. Takes a pitch low, count 1-1. His favorite memory is late nights on the field and in the weight room with the guys. Pitch misses low, 2-1. Of course, we talked about Lustina heating up as of late, hitting well over 400 in the second half of the year. Ground ball, chopper to second. Organ makes the throw in time and 2 away quickly.
It's well worked by Ferguson so far. The Tigers not being able to score in that first inning. We'll see how big of an impact that actually has, because Ferguson has been working very well, although a lot of that damage did come with 2 outs on the board.
9-hole hitter John Ramsey up to the plate. Pitch misses low, 1-0. Cam Chatness getting the prior 2 starts at shortstop in this series. Ramsey will round out the series. Just misses, 77 out of the hand of Ferguson. Big swing and a miss. Count now 2-1. Going back to Lustina, though, he's made an impact with the bat recently, but you've called him the defensive wizard in the past because that's what he is sometimes. Very, very good defensive second baseman. Pitch misses away, 3-1.
He's one of those players that can make MLB highlight reel type plays at his position defensively. You know, that's what they need up the middle. He's been very, very sound.
The 3-1. Ramsey hits one a long way into right field, back at the warning track. And the catch is made by Coronado. 3 up, 3 down for the Tigers in the bottom of the second. Southwestern up 5-0 as we head to the third on Tiger Network. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. Will Taylor still on the mound for the Tigers in a 5-0 game for Southwestern. Trace Organ up to the plate. Takes a strike, 86 out of the hand of Will Taylor. Organ 1 for 1 today, a 304 hitter on the year. Hits one into the air in right. And the catch is made for out number 1. A good start for Will Taylor as he deals with the middle of this Pirates order. Jordan Coronado coming up to the plate now. Middle of the order that did so much damage against Trajan Lee. Coronado also 1 for 1. First year from Anderson, Texas. Nice season for his first year, hitting .314. Pitch misses low from Taylor. Foul tip into the glove of Vicero. I want to go back to Vicero for a second, talk about the evolution that he's had throughout his career. Talked about his first year coming in here and there, but by his second year, he was a mainstay. Strike 3 called. Will Taylor gets Coronado looking. 2 down in the inning.
Yeah, he caught the outer edge of the zone there. A pretty similar location to what Brandon Nelson was rung up on. I think you are completely right, Cole. Maybe a bit more of a pitcher-friendly zone today.
Tanner Teff's up to the plate, takes a pitch inside. Of course, Vicero in his sophomore year missed the second half of the year because of a torn labrum, had a 1 for 18 stretch before that. We're wondering what was up, and turns out he was very injured. This is hit in the air. Lustina makes the catch. But since then, Lizero's been a mainstay, and this year he's hitting almost 400. Been very, very good. As we'll take a break on Tiger Network. Tigers up to bat when we come back in the bottom of the third. They need some runs, down 5-0. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University for the bottom of the third inning. Tigers down 5-0. The top of the order will be up for Trinity. Max Milligan coming up to the plate, another senior. Milligan will go on to be a sports psychologist, going to grad school at the University of North Texas. And his favorite memory is team bonding on bus rides and getting to know everybody. Specifically, this is something they've done over the years. They'd like to play Mafia. That's usually the baseball tradition. Enjoyed that a lot. First pitch he sees is ball 1 in the dirt. Of course, the Tigers doing more traveling than normal recently. I'm sure they played a lot of Mafia on that bus ride to Arkansas, where they had to play Ozarks. Pitch misses low, 2-0. Remember the prior 2 years, they feels like they had every game at home. Now it's a lot more split because of so many conference games and long road trips like that. Good chance to get to know your teammates. Pitch high and quickly 3-0 to Milligan.
Yeah, it's funny too because I'm trying to think about how many away games they've had. 15. I think they only played 2 of their non-conference on the road. UMHB and Hardin Simmons.
The 3-0. Down the chute, strike 1.
It's always a little odd when we say it's like, wow, there hasn't been as many home games when we've only been playing 17 on the road, but usually we do play a lot more.
Pitch low, ball 4, and a good start for the Tigers. That's Milligan's second time aboard. And they'll bring up another senior in Maddox McDonald, economics major. Unclear what he'll do next year, but it's possible he comes back for his final year of eligibility to finish out his major. Favorite memory is hosting the regional and the first weekend against Babson. Said that those were the first games that he got to play routinely, and of course the team got the sweep. Also included that epic 9-run comeback, the bottom of the 8th inning. Chops one foul. Oh, Coach Smith couldn't make the play.
He was upset about it too.
Yeah, well, he should be. I don't know what he's doing out there. For some judgment coming from Coach Deering on that one. We've seen him make that one in his sleep. Pitch high to McDonald, 1-1. Maddox McDonald has certainly become a mainstay in this Tigers lineup. Hitting second pretty much all year. And it's been a common trend that when he goes, the Tigers offense goes. Had a bit of a slump towards the middle of the year, and you could really see the struggle throughout the entire lineup. Since then, he's been back with the fire, and Tigers have been scoring a lot of runs because of it. 1-1. Pitch misses inside. 2-1.
And one thing that I really appreciate about Maddox McDonald is how good he is in the outfield. People will praise his bat, but I think his unsung hero is his defense out in the outfield.
2-1. Lined up the middle, past the dive of Oregon into center field. Milligan will slide into second. It was a closer play than maybe you would have thought. But 2 aboard with nobody out for the Tigers. Top of the order doing their job.
And Milligan thought that was going to get caught, so he wasn't anywhere near running to second base when the ball actually fell. You guys see on the replay there, he's actually going back. But he made it just in time.
Had to hustle, but runners aboard. First and second, nobody out in the inning. First traffic that Ferguson has allowed with nobody out really in this inning. And Nick Lazera will come up to the plate. Takes a strike.
Of course, with Maddox McDonald, he robbed a home run this year. It's the first time I've ever seen that at this field.
Yeah, that was pretty impressive. I couldn't really believe it when I saw it. I never thought we'd see that here. Able to reach over the fence and pull it back. The 0-1 to Lazera, outside 1-1. That was against Cortland, I believe, in the game where the wind was just romping out to right field. Ball just kept carrying, and McDonald, a little hop. He's a pretty tall guy, so didn't need too much. Able to pull it back. Pitch high, 2-1. I remember telling him that he should have big leagued it. Should have pretended like the ball went over, and then surprise, I've got it. But a pretty natural celebration, just holds it up. Lazera ahead, 2-1. Runners on first and second in a 5-0 game. Fouled off the end of the bat. And takes a very nice hop off the backstop.
Yeah, already got back to Ferguson. Just keep the ball at that point. It's a lucky charm. Clearly it wants to be thrown.
Now a 2-2 pitch coming up. Tigers looking for their first runs of the game. Pitch from Ferguson. Tapped foul. We'll do it again.
And of course, for McDonald, it's not just robbing the home run. It's all those difficult curling balls that go into the corner. He has a huge range out in right field. He can get pretty much anywhere and have an opportunity to make a catch.
It's almost like the Tigers have 2 center fielders out there, with McDonald roaming around to right and then Woodward usually out in center, both excellent defensively. The 2-2. Lazera lines one into right field, fair ball. Milligan being waved home. He will score easily. Lazera charging into second. He's in with a sliding double. Tigers on the board. It's 5-1.
Tigers on the board. He golfs that breaking ball into right field. Not only are they on the board, but they're probably in the most favorable position you can be in. Runners on second and third with no outs. Very well done by Lazera.
Now in the bottom of the third inning, Ferguson had no trouble getting the first 2 outs in either of the prior 2 innings. Now second and third, nobody out through the meat of this Tigers order. Nick Jones, the cleanup hitter, coming up to the plate. Jones 1 for 1 with a base hit in today's game. Ground ball, Foyer has the lead runner in. Lazera throws to second, the tag applied. The out there, but the run scores in McDonald. It's 5-2.
Yeah, smart play by Foyer. And again, it ends up being favorable for the Tigers because they scored that run. So they do cut the deficit a little bit. Lazera gets tagged out on the run down, but I think the Tigers are happy with getting the run in.
Will Baker comes up to the plate. Baker walked his first time up. Pitch misses, a breaking ball. Walked 3 times in yesterday's game. Working with 1 down in the inning. Runner on first is Nick Jones. Tigers have already plated 2. Cutting the deficit to 3. Pitch misses outside, 2-0.
He's one of the youngins in the lineup today for the Tigers. I think it's his better eyes. Your eyes get worse as you get older.
Maybe. Jones has to dive back to first on the pickoff attempt. I don't know, how much older do you have to get before your eyes get worse?
I mean,
how have you experienced that?
I would say your eyes can get a lot worse as you get older. For those of you who don't know, I wear glasses, so maybe a bit biased.
2-0 to Baker, outside, ball 3. Ferguson only recording 1 out in this inning so far. Getting the ground ball off the bat of Nick Jones. Other than that, he struggled with some command, and he's given up some hits because of it. 3-0 pitch in the dirt, ball 4, and Baker will head to first with his second walk of the game.
And I'll put him on a pedestrian watch.
Have we ever had back-to-back pedestrians?
We've had it in softball, but not in baseball.
We had one yesterday. So this would be his second consecutive. A very good start. 2 walks already. And Brandon Nelson coming up to the plate. Struck out looking with the bases loaded in the first. Once again, has runners on base. This time first and second, 1 down. Big swing and a miss. Strike 1.
He is swinging for the fence goal. That was a swing of somebody who wants to take it like 5 rows deep into the parking lot.
The Josh Dyer of swings.
Exactly.
The 0-1. Nelson hits one deep to left field. Back at the wall. It's gone! A 3-run homer for Brandon Nelson, opposite field, and this game is tied 5-5.
Gets the high five from Coach Deering. Brandon Nelson gave that ball a one-way ticket to out of here. That was gone way off the bat. He did it again, Cole. Grand slam, 3-run home run. What can he do?
Count them, 10 home runs on the year for Brandon Nelson. What a season he's having in terms of the power column. Kai Tinker will come up to the plate after all the excitement. This game now tied at 5. Pitch misses, 1-0. And if you're Southwestern, you got to be thinking, here we go again. Had the 5-0 lead. All of a sudden, in the blink of an eye, it's a new game. Tinker lines one into center field. It's another hit for the Tigers.
Tinker keeps it rolling for Trinity. You know, sometimes it can be hard to come up to bat after somebody hits a home run. Sometimes people call home runs rally killers because you get everyone off the base paths, but Tinker's like, no, I'll just start another one, actually.
This will warrant a meeting. And while that meeting's happening, why don't we highlight the man who hit the home run? Brandon Nelson, also a senior, says he wants to do lone writing. Was it unwriting? I have unwriting in my notes. I just didn't know if that was correct.
Unwriting?
Lone unwriting.
Lone unwriting.
It's a profession that he wants to go into. Says his favorite memory is the dog pile after the SCAC tournament. So he knows what he wants to do. It's just a matter of getting there. Taking it step by step after college. Reed, you also double as a research consultant, so maybe you can look into that a little bit. Partly my fault. I should have asked more questions, but I had a lot of seniors to interview, so I was just kind of getting through it. Michael Lustina coming up to the plate. Lines one sharply, but foul. Count 0-1.
And when you say loan, are you saying I'm getting a loan from a bank or loan as I'm alone?
No, it's a loan from a bank.
Okay, he is a finance,
Yeah.
right? So
no, it's something with loans. I just didn't know if it was writing or unwriting. I didn't know if I screwed that up or not. Because I would think writing would make more sense. You couldn't tell already. I know nothing about this. Comp major.
yeah, finance was never my strength when I was taking my business classes.
Terry on the broadcast. He would have been all over this.
I got really confused, like loan unwriting. I'm like, you're alone and you're not writing anything. I was completely in a different stratosphere of understanding.
Hey, as long as Nelson knows what he wants to do, keeps hitting home runs before he does it.
Well, hopefully we don't have to pay back his home runs.
Lustina steps back in the batter's box in an 0-1 count. Runner on first and Tinker with one down in the inning still. Pitch misses away, a slider. You knew that 5 probably wasn't going to be enough if you're Southwestern, but I don't think you knew that the Tigers would tie the game this quickly. One, big swing and a miss from Lustina, doing his best Brandon Nelson impression.
The Tigers, they're an ambush-type team, Cole. When you least expect it, they're going to explode for a ton of runs in an inning. And you're just going to be thinking to yourself, man, did that really just happen?
The 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Lustina goes down swinging, and there's 2 away.
And now it's important that you get Ferguson in some sort of a groove. Get him out of the inning. He's giving up 5 runs. You don't want the damage to be any further and give up the lead at this point. They've already tied it.
Dealing with the bottom of the order, and John Ramsey now checks on Tinker at first, who dives back safely. Ramsey 0 for 1 in today's game. Looking for his first hit. Not going to get it there. Hacks at that one and misses, 0-1. Ramsey, a 182 hitter on the year, 7 RBI. Grounded sharply, and there's a play from Joey Deering.
Deering 1, Smith 0.
Yeah, shooting daggers at Smith after that. Now the 0-2 to Ramsey. Outside, 1-2. Nice take from the first year. Ramsey trying to get on board, set it up for the top of the lineup. Ramsey hits it in the air, deep to left field, back at the wall, it's gone over the cutout! The first career home run for John Ramsey. Trinity takes the lead, it's 7-5.
Holy moly, Cole, that was way gone. You see the left fielder didn't put that much of an effort into chasing it. He crushed it. Home run party.
So the bottom of the Tigers lineup doing a lot of damage. John Ramsey, a 2-run homer. Trinity up 7-5. All 7 runs coming in this inning. And Max Milligan will come up to the plate for the second time in this inning. 1 for 1 with a single. He's also walked. And never a good sign when the same batter comes up to hit twice in the same inning. A lot of damage done. Pitch in the dirt, 2-0.
Yeah, that was unexpected, that second home run.
I'm still surprised. It was so gone, over the cutout, too. Pitch misses low, 3-0, not getting any better for Ferguson. Responsible for all 7 runs. Tigers taking the lead. Also means that Trajan Lee is off the hook. Strike called, 3-1. Will Taylor now potentially in line for the win. It'll be his 4th of the year if the Tigers hang on to this score. Of course, a lot of baseball to be played after this. Strike called down the middle, 3-2. Chopper to short. Foyer on 2 hops. Makes the throw in time. The inning ends, but the damage, it's been done. A touchdown put up by the Tigers in the bottom of the 3rd. They lead it 7-5. Homers from Brandon Nelson and John Ramsey. You'll see him again. First Nelson, opposite field. And then John Ramsey following after that. 7-5, Trinity leads as we head to the 4th. Welcome back to sunny San Antonio, Texas, where Will Taylor is back on the mound for the Tigers in a decidedly different situation than when he last left the mound. He was down 5-0, and now he's up by 2. 7 runs in the bottom of the 3rd for Trinity. As Logan Wilson will take strike 1. He thought about bunting, but pulled it back. See if the Southwestern offense can get the lead back. Big swing and a miss from Wilson. As Taylor continues to roll on, it's going to get difficult. Talked about the fact that Will Taylor's only allowed 1 run this season, just came last weekend. Such a difficult pitcher to go against. Taylor ahead 1-2 after that last pitch just barely missed. And that'll miss by a little bit more, 2-2.
Yeah, and of course, every pitcher on this pitching staff has had the opportunity to sit in the dugout a while the bats score a ton of runs.
Misses high. I'll run the count full. Taylor working against the bottom of the Southwestern lineup. Wilson, the 8-hitter. Foyer on deck, the 9-hole hitter. Stung a long way foul, and we'll do it again. That was hit over the bell center.
Yeah, I lost it in the sun.
So after the impressive foul ball, the 3-2. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. First strikeout of the inning for Will Taylor, 1 down.
Man, he's been just such an impressive freshman pitcher this year, Cole. A lot of really impressive stuff from young guys that, they're the future of this team after the senior class does end up leaving.
Ben Foyer takes strike 1. Tried the bunt there. Think about how this bullpen looks. Some questions in the rotation, especially with Lee struggling lately. But this bullpen lights out. Taylor finds his own strike 2. You've got this guy, Will Taylor. Got Will Hellings, Jack Breezy, who's looked really good lately. As a 3-headed monster coming out of the pen. Am I forgetting anybody?
I'd say Brandon Morio.
Maybe. He starts sometimes, though, so you never know. Got a lot of versatility in this staff. Pitch misses outside, 2-2.
Also like Kyle Hoggett.
Yeah, Kyle Hoggett's been really good. Maybe a potential starter option. You can run into a lot of games. High foul ball onto the roof of the bell center. 1, 2, 3, 4, and it died. I had some hope for that one. 2-2. Did he go? No. And it didn't look like he did from here. So the count will run full. Back-to-back full counts worked by Southwestern. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts by Will Taylor. He's making him look silly.
Yeah, he got the batter to pretty much swing out of his shoes there. That's just kind of the effect Will Taylor has on you, though.
He's a fascinating pitcher to go against. Connor Duffy, top of the order, coming up for Southwestern now. Takes a strike. He's got 2 fastballs, one that he throws slow and another he throws fast. It's pretty unusual, but it works. There's a strike 0-2. Taylor trying to strike out the side. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. Strikes out the side in order and makes it look easy. We'll take a break on Tiger Network. Bottom of the 4th coming up. Trinity with the 7-5 lead. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Tigers with the 7-5 lead. There have only been 2 frames with runs scored. Southwestern scoring 5 in the top of the second. Trinity scoring 7 in the bottom of the third. Maddox McDonald leading things off for the Tigers. Ferguson still on the mound for Southwestern after giving up 7 in the prior inning. First pitch misses with ball 1. We'll continue to spotlight different seniors on this Tigers team. And now we'll go with Kyle Russa, who's taken on more of a coaching role. He's coaching first base right now. Had been a pitcher, a reliever, as McDonald hits this way high. Still coming down. Melillo calls it in left and makes the catch. That is the highest I have ever seen a ball hit here.
That was high, and I had no idea where it went. I looked up and immediately lost it in the clouds. So good on Melillo to actually make the catch.
Nick Vicero will come up after what goes down as an F7. Put an H in front of that, high F7. First pitch to Vicero. Misses 1-0. Vicero 2 for 2 today. Nearly a 400 hitter on the season. 48 RBI, but we'll continue to talk about Kyle Russa, who's headed to Houston to work for Total Energies. His favorite memory is hanging out with the guys on and off the field. I mentioned specifically that the bullpen was a really fun environment when he was pitching there. Vicero takes a strike 1-1. Russa's had an interesting career. He's made a few relief appearances, but my favorite memory of him is when he came in as a pinch runner one time. We were just baffled that that happened. The 1-1 misses outside, 2-1. He's calling the game with Luke Terry, and we had like, somebody had to trade jerseys. That's what had to happen. We didn't know who it was, but we assumed that they just didn't have like a black 22 or a black whatever the person was wearing. Vicero hits this deep to left. Melillo back to the warning track, and he makes the catch. But it was Kyle Russa. Fascinating.
Yeah, I was working a camera in the dugout that game, and Josh and I were trying to figure out who it was. And I looked at the roster. I was like, Kyle Russa. And I was texting back and forth with Luke Terry, and I said, and he asked me, was that Kyle Russa pinch running? I said yes, because after the inning had ended.
Big swing and a miss from Nick Jones, who comes up to bat. He has a hit in this game. We were just stunned. We were baffled. It was at a time when the Tigers had a lot of outfield injuries, and normally they would use Jarrett Phillips in that situation to pinch run, but they needed to keep him healthy. Big swing and a miss from Jones, in case they lost another outfielder, because he was the next guy up, and they couldn't get him hurt pinch running. So he just sat on the bench, and they pinch ran Kyle Russa.
I don't think he got to do much on first base either.
No. The 0-2, lined and sharply fouled towards the dugout of Southwestern. I remember I saw them do that in practice, and I thought it was just a gimmick. I thought there was no way that that would actually happen, to the point where when we were calling the game, it's like, no, absolutely not. But he was on first base. The 0-2. This is outside.
Seems whenever we put a pitcher in an interesting position, nothing happens.
Shocker. The 1-2 from Ferguson, trying to work a 1-2-3 inning. Fouled off again, out of play to the right. Nick Jones trying to get something started for the Tigers, who have the 7-5 lead. 2 down, nobody on. Pitch misses away again. So Jones even at 2-2. See what he can do now that he's battled back even. The 2-2 from Ferguson. Close pitch, no call.
And Jones, he's a walk drawer. He is very patient at the plate, very disciplined, but don't let that fool you into giving him something down the middle, because he can really rocket one as well.
Here's the 3-2. Hit in the air, drifting out of play, and it is 1, and it clanks off some obstruction, so no more hops. For those of you who haven't watched earlier in the year, our record is 7. Have gotten nowhere close since then. I don't know how we got that. Another 3-2 pitch. Inside ball 4, and Jones does draw the walk.
A good walk drawn by Jones, and that 7 hopper call. I feel like it's that distance home run record. It's like 700 feet. I feel like maybe we're in that territory of.
It feels that way. As close as we've had since then has been like 4. I think we had a 5 early in the year after the 7, but only 4s for months now. Will Baker coming up to the plate. He's on pedestrian watch. 2 walks in this game. Would be his 2nd straight 3-walk game. Good start with ball 1. Just goes to show how patient the approach has been for the Tigers this year. I know it's been something that Madden's head coach Tim Scannell in the past several years, when guys would swing at the first pitch and wouldn't go deep into counts because of it. Jones has to dive back on the pickoff attempt, does so safely. This year they lead the country in walks, so you can't ask for more patience than that, I don't think. They try again. Similar result.
I think it's just a bit of refocusing for Ferguson. You have 2 outs on the board. This inning's already been much more successful than the last.
The 1-0 to Baker. Hits one high and shallow left. Foyer goes back into the outfield grass and makes the catch to end the inning. So it's not a 1-2-3 inning, but it is a scoreless one for the Tigers. We're through 4 as we head to the 5th on Tiger Network. 7-5, Trinity still has the lead. Welcome back to the Alamo City, where the Tigers have a 7-5 lead in Game 3 of this series against Southwestern. James Vicero coming up to the plate, sitting on career hit 199, takes strike 1, so it could be quite the milestone hit for him in this at-bat. Got a hit in the last at-bat of last night's game to put him in a position where he only needed 2 hits today. Time is called. Vicero's so reliable over his 4 years at Southwestern, a 300 hitter in all 4 of them. A 400 hitter this season. Gets out of the way of a pitch inside, 2-0. Oh, and he got a graphic in the top corner. That is a special privilege only given to people who lose their hats and people close to milestones. Ground ball, chopper. Tinker makes the throws, so Vicero will have to wait just a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's going to be, if he got the hit, it would be well deserved because not many guys even get hits off of Will Taylor. You can see right there, it swings over that pitch. Ends up being a ground ball. That is Will Taylor's bread and butter play.
Wyatt Kulo coming into the batter's box. Takes a strike. I think the best thing for Vicero at this point would be to get Will Taylor out of the game ASAP, because he does not give up a lot of hits. Saw the ERA, .43. This bullpen in general, very, very good for the Tigers as of late. Part of that success has been Jack Breezy, who pitched on Friday's game. Chopper to Tinker. Makes the play on the hot corner in time. 2 down in the inning, so I'll have to get through this quickly. Breezy going to grad school, using his last year of eligibility. Unclear where he'll go, but either doing something with his MBA or something related to sports management. See the replay of the play from Tinker. But ultimately the goal for Breezy is that he wants to be a coach like his dad at center. Favorite memory, winning SCAC sophomore year. That is a common theme for this class. 2 years ago, the Tigers winning the conference tournament. They'll hope to do the same again next weekend. Pitch outside from Taylor. Batter is Christian Melillo. Melillo, well over a 300 hitter this season. 2-0. Takes a strike. Pitch outside, and I believe it now is 2-2. So the scoreboard on field, incorrect. 3-1 is what it says. The one you're looking at on your screen is right. 2-2 pitch. Misses inside. 3-2. So Taylor's run into a lot of full counts in his outing so far, but usually he ends up striking the guy out. We'll see if this at-bat follows that trend. 3-2 pitch. High, ball 4. So Melillo finds his way on. It's a 2-out walk.
That's usually how guys get on against Will Taylor, is staying patient, exercising caution, walking on to first base. Good job by Melillo. We'll see if it turns into anything.
Trace Organ up to the plate now. Organ with a hit in today's game. Pitch misses inside from Taylor. Working with traffic and 2 down. Pitch is low, 2-0. Melillo with 8 stolen bases on the year. He's been caught twice. So something for the lefty Taylor to look out for as he steps off. There's some light action in the Tiger bullpen. Nobody throwing yet. Some people getting loose. Taylor trying to get out of this inning by himself. Working against the 5-hitter in Oregon, who sends a ground ball to short. Ramsey will go the short way to end the inning. Another scoreless frame thrown by Will Taylor as we're halfway through this one in San Antonio. The bottom of the 5th coming your way next on Tiger Network. 7-5, Tigers have the lead. Bottom of the fifth here in San Antonio. The Tiger dugout and bullpen doing the YMCA during the break. Now they're ready to play some ball as Brandon Nelson will lead off this inning, going against Ferguson. Out for his fifth inning of work. Been good overall despite that one inning. And unfortunately for Southwestern, that one inning cost them the lead. All 7 runs coming in the bottom of the third for Trinity. Pitch misses low and inside to Nelson, who was a big part of that big inning, hitting a 3-run homer that would tie the game. One-0 pitch from Ferguson. Nelson thought about it, but thinks better and takes a ball. Ahead 2-0. Outside 3-0, so Ferguson struggling a little bit with his control so far.
And well, I think it's understandable why you would maybe pitch away from Brandon Nelson too.
See if they give him anything here. Big swing and a miss from Nelson. Trying to send that baseball to Seguin. Seguin out to right field?
I think Seguin's out to right
That's
field.
kind of what I thought. Okay. 3-1 pitch. Ground ball through the hole right above the second base bag, and it's a base hit for Brandon Nelson, so maybe just as good as a walk. I think Ferguson will take that. 1 on with nobody out.
Yeah, it's a solid hit for Brandon Nelson. Up the middle. It's one of the simplest hits you can get. Those up the middle hits, you know, they're very simple. They're not flashy, but they are very effective.
The bread and butter of this Tigers offense. 9 hits on the day today. Kai Tinker up to the plate. He has a home run in this series. Trying to get another one as he swings and misses at the first pitch slider. Chopper past the dive. Third baseman Tefts out of his reach. And back-to-back base hits for Trinity. 2 on, nobody out.
Again, it's those little blooping ground ball hits that can really come back to bite you if you're a pitcher. They just get through. It's unfortunate. He's not shifted in the correct way. Hey, solid hit by Kai Tinker. He's been very, very hot with the stick in the recent weeks.
Another hot hitter as of late. Michael Lucina coming up to the plate. Squares up to bunt, pulls it back. And are they signaling that it hit him? Lucina not getting rid of the bat quite yet.
I think they signaled a foul ball. I think it went off of him.
We'll see it on the replay. And I think you're right. Count is 0-1, so it is a foul ball. Unfortunate for Lucina. The 0-1. They throw off the backside to try and get Nelson, who steps back safely. First baseman Wyatt Kulo coming way in on the infield grass there, ready for the bunt.
We say that's unfortunate for Lucina, but nothing can be as unfortunate as a couple weekends ago when he had maybe the most unfortunate ground ball I've ever seen.
Oh, not maybe, definitely. Pitch misses low. It was a slider behind his head. Bends back in, hits his bat, somehow lands in fair territory. 1-3 putout. So I don't think that will ever be topped. 1-1. Ground ball sharply hit to Tefts. Steps on the third base bag. Throws across the diamond in time for the double play. Just what the doctor ordered for Southwestern, 2 away.
Exactly, Cole. Right to the third baseman, waiting at third base. They don't try to get flashy in turn 3. Just get 2 outs. You only need 1 more to get out of the inning. No reason to risk it.
John Ramsey coming up to the plate, and he did damage the last time he was up, his first career home run. gave the Tigers the 7-5 lead. Swing and a miss at the first pitch, trying to hit his second career home run on that. Healthy cut. Working with 2 down. Runner at second is Kai Tinker. Pitch misses low, 1-1. To Ramsey. Away. Trinity trying to add on to this lead. They have 10 hits, 7 runs to show for it.
And you know, Cole, I like the uniforms for Southwestern today. I think they look good.
Well, it's good stuff. Reminds me of the Arizona Diamondbacks Serpents uniform. Swing and a miss from Ramsey, 2-2. My thing, and we talked about this, is that I just don't like it when the road team wears white in baseball. Like, we have gray for a reason. That's just how it should be.
That's very common in Division III.
Unfortunately, yes. We've seen that. Pitch high. Ovation from the bullpen. They all took their hats off simultaneously. I wonder what that's about. Ramsey in a 3-2 count. Tinker should be off and running with 2 outs. Hit in the air, hooking foul, and it is into the Southwestern bullpen, so we'll do it again.
They're trying to give it the Philadelphia feel.
There is some action in the Tiger bullpen. Will Helling's warming up. Wonder if we'll see him today. Meantime, 3-2 from Ramsey. Roped into left field, and it falls. It's a base hit. Tinker racing around third. He comes in and will score. John Ramsey. RBI single, 8-5 Tigers.
Yeah, it's been a productive day for the 9th spot for the Tigers. I understand not trying to dive for that ball out in left field. There's no reason to. You're only really putting too much risk into it. Run's going to score either way. They keep him at first, though.
Lineup flips over. Max Milligan 1 for 2 today. He's also walked. Offered at it with a bunt. 2 outs. Interesting strategy. See if he tries it again. Two down, runner on first and Ramsey. The 0-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss, not bunting that time. Quickly down 0-2. Ferguson trying to get out of this inning. He's surrendered a run here in the bottom of the 5th. Tigers have extended the lead 8-5 off the RBI single from Ramsey. John Ramsey going, pitch taken, throw from Vicero, not in time. A stolen base for the first-year Ramsey.
Yeah, it was a good jump by Ramsey. He ran on the right pitch, too. That's why he had some success stealing that bag.
Wind kicking up a notch, going out into left center field. The lefty Milligan, 1-2, ground ball through the hole into center field. Ramsey being waved around third. He will score. RBI single for Max Milligan on his 2nd hit of the game.
Yeah, and it was a bit of a slow grounder up the middle, too. Foyer almost got to it. He dove for it, couldn't quite get there. Tigers are stringing together a lot of runs on this 2-out rally.
Definitely an impressive dive from Foyer. A lot of range he showed, just not enough to get to that baseball. Number 2 hitter, Maddox McDonald, now up. Milligan replacing Ramsey on first, where he started his at-bat. Eventually scored from second after the stolen base. Trinity now up 9-5. They scored 2 runs in this inning. McDonald up with 2 down. The 1-0 pitch, not yet. They check on Milligan at first. One of the closer plays we've seen over there, but still not in time.
Yeah, we talk about the bunt being unexpected. It's also not very conventional to steal with 2 outs as well.
They try again to get Milligan. He's not shortening his lead despite the attempts to get him.
Well, they want to make sure that Ferguson knows that we are a threat to steal no matter what that board says.
Milligan has already been caught today by Vicero. Try and get him again. Each of those plays fairly close, so Milligan able to get back in time.
Yeah, it's good throws from Ferguson over to Kulo. You got to be careful. You know, there's always a chance that one of them gets away.
Large lead for Milligan. 1-0. Donald fouls it in our direction into the screen. Count now 1-1 as he finally gets a pitch. Trying to think of what the record is in terms of throws to first in a row. It has to be by Cade McGahan. There's no way it's not. And they throw to first again. Milligan back safely, rinse and repeat.
I wonder, just you're playing at a field with no lights, sun's about to set, you're winning, you just keep throwing to first until they call the game?
It's one way to do it. Ground ball through the hole in left for McDonald. Milligan will stop at second. 3 straight hits for the Tigers with 2 down.
And they've been solid contact hits, finding the gaps goal. Of course, you wouldn't keep throwing to first because I think that'd break an unwritten rule. Which,
I don't know. Maybe the Sales should have done it in their game against, what was it, Penn State Harrisburg that they were playing?
yeah, Penn State Harrisburg.
They were in that situation. The game ran long. Sun is setting. Could have lasted a little longer. Could have gotten out there with a tie. Instead, they lose on a walk-off. Nick Lazera up to the plate. 2 down, 2 on. Pitch taken outside. Bottom of the 5th. Credit to Ferguson as he's just grinded out innings for Southwestern. His pitch count's got to be getting up there even if we don't have it in front of us. Surrendered 9 runs to this point. Lazera trying to make it 10 or more. Pitch outside, 2-0. Some weird shouting coming from the Tiger dugout right now. 2-0. Outside 3-0 and in danger of walking the bases loaded.
I think my most memorable Lazera moment was the intentional walks he got issued against Cortland. I had never seen anyone intentionally walked before at this field, and then he had it happen to him twice.
3-0, taken for a strike. I actually got to talk to him after that. Asked him what that was like, and he said it was even funnier because the starting pitcher looks at the head coach for Cortland, kind of questioning him. And head coach Ross just says, he homered off you. What do you want me to do? Takes ball 4, and that will load the bases with 2 down in the inning.
Well, Trinity Tiger catchers have a certain effect on Cortland Red Dragons, it seems.
It would seem that way. It's at the very least a mound visit. And it will be a pitching change. That's the day for Ferguson. He pitches into the 5th inning, surrendered 9 runs, and he's responsible for all 3 runners on base right now. Pitching change in San Antonio, Southwestern with a new arm when we come back on Tiger Network. 9-5, Tigers with the lead. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Pitching change for Southwestern. New arm on the mound is Garrett Gwynn, the junior from Bakersfield, California. 0-1 record on the season with an ERA at just around 7. An opportunity to lower that in today's game. Concerning number for Southwestern with the bases loaded is 18 walks and only 14 strikeouts. A walk here would mean a run. The bases are filled with Tigers with 2 down in the inning. Nicholas Jones, the cleanup hitter, coming up to the plate. 1 for 2 today, a .338 hitter on the season. Tigers already up 4, a chance to blow it open. First pitch, hit in the air to right field, drifting foul, and it is out of play. Gwynn in a tough assignment right now. Bases loaded, 2 down. Trying to hold the deficit. This was a game where the Pirates led 5-0. Now they are down 4. Chance for more for the Tigers. The 0-1. Misses away, a slider, a nice pick from Vicero. The wind now blowing in a little bit for Nick Jones. The 1-1, big swing and a miss, 1-2.
If you're Nick Jones, don't get too overzealous with trying to clear the bags. A base hit works as well. Although, said that same thing to Brandon Nelson yesterday, and he hit a grand slam, so take it or leave it.
The 0-2. Reaches out for that one and squibs it foul towards the Trinity dugout. Now an 0-2 pitch. Ignore the count on your screen. Disregard that. Pitch gets away. A nice hop off the backstop. Will they be able to do anything with it? Slides in safe. Milligan scores the run on the wild pitch. 10-5 Tigers.
Yeah, even off the fortunate bounce call, Milligan able to slide in. Just too low for Gwynn to get the hand down to tag. That backstop, that is something that has definitely changed over these seniors' 4 years. Their freshman year, that backstop was the worst thing on the planet to them because the ball would just die because the field was dirt.
Does not die anymore. Southwestern nearly able to capitalize on it. 1-2. Jones lines one into right field. It's a fair ball. McDonald in to score. Here comes Lazera. Trinity has blown it open. It's 12-5.
Again, Cole, it's a lot of damage with 2 outs. That one was put in a perfect spot for those runners to come in to score. Ends up in the corner out in right field. It's the nightmare for a right fielder to go into that corner. Now he stands on second. Tigers they keep scoring runs, Cole. They keep scoring runs.
Will Baker coming up to the plate. We're on pedestrian watch. Runner on second is Nick Jones after his 2 RBI double. First pitch to Baker, strike 1. Baker 0 for 1 today, but he has those 2 walks. Trying to get his second pedestrian in 2 days. Would be a Trinity first as far as we know. Won't be a walk here. Instead puts a charge in one to center field. Logan Wilson makes the catch pretty deep in the outfield grass. That ends the inning, but not before the damage is done. 5-run score for the Tigers. They lead it 12-5 as we head to the 6th on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the Alamo City. The Tigers have a 12-5 lead. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Will Taylor back on the mound for Trinity. He'll face Jordan Coronado, who smokes one right to Michael Lustina. Makes the catch. Mark that down as an L4 for out number 1.
Yeah, 1 pitch, 1 out. Right to Lustina. A bit unfortunate for Southwestern, but hey, sometimes that's how the game goes.
Tanner Tefts, the native of Las Vegas, Nevada, and the third baseman up to bat now with 1 out. We'll continue to run through the seniors on this Senior Sunday, and we'll go with Will Hellings next because it seems like there's no chance he's coming into this game with the score being what it is. Trying to get his 5th-year eligibility for his JUCO. Trying to see, I know that law was changed very recently. Count now 1-1 after the pitch from Taylor, so trying to get that worked out. Seeing if he can either come back or go somewhere else to study finance and use his final year of eligibility. His favorite memory was pitching in the regional. Loved the high-intensity atmosphere of coming into a close game. Count now 2-1. Excuse me, 1-2. This is lined by Tefts into right. Milligan ranges over and makes the catch, 2 down. Of course, Hellings has been an important part of this Tigers bullpen for the last several years. And we'll see if we have him back again. There is a potential.
Of course, this class of seniors, and they're going to get 50-year eligibility. It's not coming from COVID. That ran out last year.
Wind ramps up a little bit. As here's a shot into left center field off the bat of Logan Wilson. It will fall. Base hit for the center fielder will keep the inning going for Southwestern.
A good way to keep that inning going. Got a lot of seniors trying to get another year of eligibility. Of course, it'll have to be in different ways now that those COVID eligibility years are over at this point. 5th years will be a bit less common.
Fouled off the bat of Foyer. Hit Vicero. He seems to be okay.
Although the
plate umpire giving Vicero some time, a little courtesy.
The NCAA is definitely giving players opportunities for some bonus years with that aforementioned JUCO rule.
Then Foyer now hitting for the Pirates. Takes the ball outside, 1-1. Taylor working with the runner on first, 2 down. Pitch misses up, 2-1. Tigers with 14 hits in today's game. They were down 5-0. That is a thing that is very far away from where they are now. 12 unanswered runs so far. Taylor in a 2-2 count with 2 down in the inning. Pitch misses, 3-2, so another full count. We've seen quite a few of those from Taylor. They'll throw to first. Wilson able to get back safely.
More of a refocused pickoff than an actual pickoff attempt.
Foul ball out of play, on the third for the Bell Center. 1, 2, 3, and that was a pretty shallow hop to begin with. Not much of a chance for that ball. Pitch from Taylor, 3-2. Foul ball again. This one on the top of the netting. Full count, 2 down. Logan Wilson has been off and running with the last couple pitches. He's had to go back each time, getting some sprints in.
Yeah, and this heat too. It is a bit warm outside.
Oh yeah, it's warm. Feel it up here. Pitch high, ball 4, and back-to-back base runners for Southwestern.
Some of our four-legged friends down in the stands are feeling the impacts too. Couple dogs trying to sweat their way through this one.
Have a mound visit. Vicero coming out to talk to his first-year arm. Got some action in the bullpen. Potentially see a couple of seniors come in. We don't know who's going to be coming into this game, so we'll just keep running through seniors. Starting with Clayton Jackson going into the engineering field. Doesn't know exactly where yet, but his favorite memory is having fun at practices and games. Also traveling with the team, similar to what Milligan said. Of course, Jackson's dealt with a couple of injuries his last 2 years. Missed the entire season last year because of an injury. I believe he's dealing with a lat injury this year that's been keeping him out of action. Haven't seen him since he pitched against Ozarks. Wasn't quite right. It's because he was fighting through that injury. Before that, he was lights out. Another big part of this Trinity bullpen. First pitch to Connor Duffy is in for strike one out of the hand of Taylor. Duffy 1 for 3 today, a .297 hitter on the year. Here's a soft ground ball. Taylor has to slide and no throw. Probably a wise decision from the first year. He'll just take the bases loaded.
Yeah, very wise decision indeed. Just unfortunate. I mean, he wasn't even trying to hit it, let alone get on base. That was not, I don't think that was the intention. I think he wanted to hold up. But it works out either way for Southwestern. Will Taylor now in a bit of a jam.
Got the first 2 outs with no problems. Now the base is loaded for the most dangerous hitter for Southwestern, James Vicero. Career hits 199, looking for number 200. Nearly gets hit with the pitch. Has to spin out of the way, takes ball 1. Coming up with 2 down and the bases loaded. Vicero trying to get his team back in this game. Way ahead of it, and some spectators having to get out of the way between the Trinity dugout and bullpen.
2 of them moved away, and one of them just stood there. He had no care in the world.
Not what I would do in that situation, but hey, to each their own. The 1-1 from Taylor. Lined into right field. There it is. 200 for Vicero. 1 run is in, another scores. His 200th career hit is a 2 RBI single. Congratulations to James Vicero.
Hats off. It's a great hit in the right field, just over the glove of Will Baker. It's impactful. And you heard the cheer on your stream, I'm sure.
Vicero getting his moment now. I think they're going to try and hunt down that baseball. I heard somebody in the crowd say that. And he knew it immediately. He was counting. I know we were. Number 200 for the senior Vicero. We'll have a pitching change in San Antonio. That's the day for Will Taylor. He surrenders 2 runs in the top of the 6th. Trinity now with the 12-7 lead. New arm on the mound when we come back. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. The new arm on the mound for the Tigers is Zach Balbin. The senior has an ERA a little over 6, and he'll go against Wyatt Kulo. 0 for 3 in today's game. A .318 hitter on the year. Comes in with 2 outs and runners at the corners. Southwestern has scored 2 runs in this frame. All the damage done with 2 down. First pitch from Balbin is a strike. Zach Balbin, another senior on this Trinity roster. Last appearance, 3.2 innings pitched against UMHB. Fires strike 2. Quickly ahead 0-2 on Kulo, trying to get the Tigers out of this inning. Balbin will be going into mergers and acquisitions. Thankfully misses with that pitch, so I can keep going. His favorite memory is being in the bullpen with everyone during the games. He loves the camaraderie that creates. The 1-2, swing and a miss, that's strike 3. So Balbin gets the Tigers out of the jam, but Southwestern does score 2 in the inning. They cut the deficit. It's 12-7 Trinity as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Brandon Nelson will lead off the bottom of the 6th for the Tigers. Don't know if you could see it on the screen, but James Vicero coming back behind the dish gave a salute to the Southwestern fans that are in attendance here today. There's quite a bit of them that came down from Georgetown, giving him a round of applause for his 200th career hit. Catches strike 1.
Yeah, Vicero becomes the 48th player in SCAC history to reach the 200 hit marker.
0-1 to Nelson. Fouled off the end of the bat, out of play, onto the street.
You'll see a salute on screen to the Southwestern faithful that came down. He's the first player and Pirate since Maxwell Mims, who is his teammate last year, to be in the 200 hit club as well.
Pitch misses outside to Nelson, 1-2. Of course, Max Mims, such an impact player offensively for Southwestern last season. Part of the reason that they haven't lived up to expectations this season, Nelson did not go around, so the count is 2-2. Number of factors why the Pirates are in the situation that they're in, and this will be their last game of the year. But despite all that, James Vicero able to get career hit number 200. 2-2 pitch, fouled off the bat of Nelson.
And of course, they've got a really good coach to teach them how to hit as well. J.C. Bunch, very high on that record list in terms of hits for conference. Number 6
Scannell calling J.C. Bunch one of the 3 best players to ever put on a Trinity baseball uniform. 2-2. Fouled into the screen, we'll do it again. We'll continue to shout out a few seniors. Again, we don't know who's coming in, so we'll just run through them. We'll go with Jarrett Phillips up next, who we saw in game 1. Phillips will be taking a gap year and getting clinical hours and experience in the medical field. Nelson finds the gap in left field, another hit for him. But Phillips, wanting to go into the medical field, wants to apply to med school. His dream job is to be an orthopedic surgeon, but he needs to get some more clinical hours and experience in order to get that application up. His favorite memory was just the enjoyment of playing 2 sports here at Trinity. One of a couple multi-sport athletes on the baseball team. Was a defensive back for the football team, and also on the baseball team. Pretty impressive that he can do both. Kai Tinker up to the plate. Takes a strike.
And the connection between the baseball and football team has been pretty strong over the past couple of years. You've had players like Ezra Gore, who was a 2-way athlete, and of course, player currently on the team, John Adrian Dioli. That's really impressive.
Tinker hits one into left center. This is falling, and it'll find the gap. Neslin hustling around third. He's being waved in. He's trying to score from first, and he will. Sliding. RBI double for Kai Tinker. Trinity gets a run back. It's 13-7.
Yeah, off this great hit from Kai Tinker. It was laced on a rope into left center. Brandon Nelson hops on his horse and scores. You see him rumble in and slide. Not even a throw to the plate. That's how ahead he was.
Talked about how hot Kai Tinker's been recently. Coming into the weekend, he was 11 for his last 19 at the plate. A .579 batting average for the graduate student, who's currently on second. Michael Lustina will try and drive him in, 0 for 3. Tinker trying to steal, and the throw gets away. Tinker coming home, and he will do so easily. A steal and an error will score Kai Tinker. It's 14-7. Trinity gets the 2 runs back.
Well, we were talking about football earlier. Now a football score. The back pick from Vicero just gets away from the third baseman down the line. There's no one there to back him up.
So the job a little easier for Lucina, or it's done already. The run is in. Nobody out, basically a fresh inning. Here's a chopper to short. Foyer with a ranging play. Throw on a hop. Picked in time by Kulo. Nice job by Foyer. 1 down.
Yeah, Foyer has made several impressive plays at his position so far. That one, no different. Barely edging out Lustina. Close play at first, but Foyer, every time that I see the Tigers play the Pirates, he is very, very good defensively.
Here's Trinity's shortstop up to the plate. Takes strike 1. It's John Ramsey. 2 for 3 day. 3 RBIs. 2 of them off his 2-run homer that gave the Tigers the 7-5 lead at the time. Of course, since then, they've scored a few more runs. Tacking on 7 more. Takes a pitch away, 1-1. I don't think either of us knew that John Ramsey had that type of power. That was a very long home run over the cutout in left field. Sends one to third this time. Tefts picks it. Throws in time, 2 away. So the base is clear with 2 down in the inning. The lineup will flip over. Max Milligan up to the plate. Multiple hits in today's game. Here in the bottom of the 6th. Tigers with a 14-7 lead. Mentioned it a lot. Max Milligan, the beekeeper from Amarillo. Family bee farmers. Already talked about him today. Wants to branch out and be a sports psychologist, though. Bee farmer, pretty cool gig. The 0-1, Milligan ropes it into center field. Well hit ball. 3-hit day for Max Milligan on senior day.
Excellent hit for Max Milligan. Stung it in to center field. He strikes again, Cole. When you shake the nest, the hive will come out. And Max Milligan has had an excellent offensive day today.
Did not have a start in the series before this, but making the most of the one he got. Now Maddox McDonald up to the plate. 2 for 4 today. OPS over 1,000. Trinity trying to add on. Runner on first, 2 down in the inning. McDonald hits it deep to left field. Back at the wall. He extends the lead, a 2-run shot. No doubt about that one from Maddox McDonald. It's 16-7.
Man, Cole, it is 3 home run day for the Tigers. He cranked it into left field. And you'll see on your screen when the replay goes.
Eventually. There we go.
It's just gone. I think, thankfully for everybody parked out there, cars too far back for a home run to feasibly reach. So
yeah,
no,
he was trying.
Yeah,
he was doing his best. Nick Lazera coming up to the plate. This game further blown open. Takes a pitch away. Lazera 2 for 3 today. Tigers continuing to do damage with 2 outs. Up 16-7, 18 hits on the day for Trinity. The offense seems to be clicking at the right time. Tigers have booked their place in the SCAC tournament for next weekend up in Round Rock, Texas. They'll be the #1 overall seed, and they will play St. Thomas, the 4th seed, who they swept last weekend. Inside out swing, foul ball.
Yeah, that tournament field already set. Trinity the 1 seed, Concordia the 2, McMurray the 3, St. Thomas the 4. And St. Thomas, they'll be coming in wanting to win. They're on a bit of a skid right now.
Lost their last 6, and that was a fascinating bounce. Vicero turned around and saw that the baseball was right at his glove already.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the Minnesota Twins catcher who caught the ball not looking when it bounced off the backstop. It was like the smoothest play ever.
2-2 to Lazera. Foul ball. Of course, Trinity winning in a palindrome against St. Thomas last weekend. 21-12 in game 2. And pretty convincing in the other games as well. So St. Thomas will be looking to avenge that. 2-2 pitch to Lazera. Foul ball again at the top of the screen.
Yeah, TLU came close. TLU and St. Thomas are tied in conference record, but St. Thomas swept the Bulldogs. And that sweep, especially a sweep, was very important as it turned out.
St. Thomas, a team kind of coming out of nowhere. It seemed like TLU was going to be in the conference tournament. And all of a sudden, you look up and they are not. Outside looking in. Ball 3, the count runs full. Nice at bat from Lazera. The Tigers offense continues to turn in quality at bats with 2 outs. Tigers trying to make this the last time they come up to the plate. Lazera hits one into left field. Make that the 19th hit of the game for the Tigers, the 3rd for Lazera today on senior day.
Our curling hit in the left field call. Well done by Lazera going opposite field.
And here is Jarrett Phillips. He'll come into the game. So we already shouted him out, but now he enters the game in place of Lazera, whose senior day is done. 3 hits for the Tigers catcher, now batting near 400. As he will look ahead to the conference tournament. Tigers hoping to get that done in 3 games. Of course, it usually takes more. Nick Jones will now come up to the plate. While he does, we'll continue to shout out some seniors, and we'll get to Matt McNaney, who is going to work at EY Houston, an accounting firm out there. favorite memory is winning the Super Regional at BSC. So a lot of these seniors, first years when the Tigers went on that College World Series run. Not a lot of them played that time, but still fond memories of the dog pile at Birmingham Southern, where the Tigers clinched their spot in the College World Series. Matt McNaney, no different. I'll shout him out again. He, like Jared Phillips, gets into the game. Of course, no guarantees that the Tigers will be up to bat. 2-0 pitch to Jones. In the dirt. Nice pick by Vicero. Of course, now that I think about it, there's a good chance that McNaney would come in to catch for Lazera. So maybe I should have waited. Who knows? Jones ahead 3-0. Tigers up 16-7 in this game. Pitch from Gwynn. Misses, ball 4. And the Tigers continue to roll on with 2 outs.
And they're increasingly having the chance go up that they can get that run across.
And we'll see if this is a pitching change. It is. The ball is handed off, and a new arm will come on the mound for Southwestern. 16-7, the Tigers have blown it open. Already a 4-run 6, trying for more when we come back. Welcome back to the campus of Trinity University. Ryan Corbett on the mound, a 2-3 record, 4.93 ERA. Had made an appearance already this series. First pitch misses to Will Baker, who's up to the plate. 0 for 2 today, has 2 walks. Corbett appearing in Friday night's game. Second appearance of the series. The 1-0. Outside 2-0. So a good start for Baker's potential 3rd walk of the game. Working with 2 outs, runners on 1st and 2nd. Strike called.
And Will Baker needs to get into the mindset, Cole. Get on base, preferably by a walk. Maybe that's just my preference.
His issue is that he's been swinging, and that's not really conducive to a walk, at least read. And he swings at this one, sends it into left field. It will fall. Runner coming home. And the Tigers add another run, make it 17-7. RBI single for Will Baker.
And now they put it into run rule territory with that, Cole. Will Baker's taking the bat off his shoulder because he's effective with it. He'll score a run there. Potentially get the Tigers out here a little early.
Jarrett Phillips scoring the run, and what a special treat we have here. It's Jack Breezy coming up to the plate. So we saw Trajan Lee come up to bat yesterday's game. We thought we weren't going to see this again, but here we are. Jack Breezy, 2 down, runners on first and second. Takes a strike.
I don't know, Cole. Who knows? The pitchers are wild cards, okay?
Trajan Lee struck out looking yesterday. We'll see what Breezy can do. Sends a chopper to third, trying to run it out. Run it out! Can't do it. Play from Tefts in time, so Breezy thrown out to end the inning. Well, he tried. Got a ball in play. Tigers score 5 in the frame. They're up 10. Opportunity to close it out in the top of the 7th when we come back. Stay tuned in on Tiger Network. Welcome back to the Alamo City. Southwestern down to their final 3 outs unless they can get a run here against Zach Balbin, who's back on the mound. Defensive changes for the Tigers. Matthias Riding in behind the dish. He'll take over for Nick Lazera in catching. Pitch to Melillo. Ball 1. Melillo 0 for 2 today, a .331 hitter on the year. Enters a 10-run ball game. Strike called. Zach Balbin trying to close this one out. But if he can't, I see another senior warming up for the Tigers. Pitch from Balbin. Hit a long ways, but foul. Hopefully all the cars are okay after that one. But Luke Pfeiffer, our last senior to shout out. Going into corporate banking at PNC, the bank in Irvine, California. Favorite memory is hanging out with the guys at practice and going to the 2022 College World Series, which he was a big part of. Pitch from Balbin in the zone, strike 3. Gets Melillo looking. 1 down in the 7th.
And Balbin, he's such a skilled pitcher. His numbers don't do him justice. He's kind of a guy who comes in when the Tigers need somebody to pitch, when maybe things aren't going so well, or when the game is already won, but he has been effective.
Fires a strike to Trace Oregon. That was the role he came into Game 1, the regional against Laverne. Tigers already up a lot. He just needed to eat up innings, did so successfully. Pitch rides inside, 1-1. But getting back to Luke Pfeiffer and his favorite memory, the 2022 College World Series, got to pitch in that, was a big part of that Tigers postseason run as a first year. Chopper sent foul towards the Tiger dugout. Count 1-2.
Yeah, Pfeiffer is the only pitcher on the pitching staff to have pitched in a regional, a super regional, and the College World Series.
1-2 pitch. Hit in the air, but drifting foul, and it will be out of play. Pfeiffer's also dealt with a lot of adversity. A rare heart condition kept him out his sophomore year for the back part of it. Something that he had to deal with, and some elbow issues in his junior year. re-aggravated it to start his senior year, and that's largely why we haven't seen him. Here's a ground ball and a base hit off the bat of Trace Organ past the dive of Tinker.
Yeah, just under Tinker's glove there. But Bauman will have to deal with a runner on first.
And Dave Smith will make a change, so here comes Luke Pfeiffer, a pitching change in San Antonio, another senior entering the game on Senior Sunday. Welcome back to San Antonio, Texas. It will be Clayton Jackson, another senior on the mound, the senior from Allen, Texas. 1-0 record, an ERA of 6. He's dealing with some injuries earlier this season. He's fully recovered and now ready to go for senior day. First pitch inside to Jordan Coronado. Jackson enters the game with 1 down, runner on first. Trying to end this game with a double play. Pitch high. Writing able to reel it in. Jackson making his first appearance since he pitched against the University of the Ozarks out in Arkansas. That was not his best appearance. Before that, it done very, very well. 2-0. Strike called. Working against the middle of the Southwestern lineup. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Jackson trying for his first strikeout since March. Ball high, the count runs full.
We talked about the Tigers traveling more. I do believe that Clarksville, Arkansas trip was their farthest trip that they took.
I think it has to be.
A long drive.
3-2 pitch from Jackson. High ball 4. And it's a 1-out walk. Runners on first and second. Southwestern trying to extend this game. If they can get a run, they will do just that. It'll have to come from the bottom of the order. Tanner Tefts, the third baseman, coming up to the plate. Teff 0 for 2 today. He's had some nice plays at third. The wind now coming in from right field. See how that affects things. Takes a strike. Luke Pfeiffer is warming up in the bullpen, so you wonder if this is a situation where Clayton Jackson will just get one out. Pfeiffer will come on in. Or if Southwestern gets a run, Pfeiffer gets the next inning. We'll see. Went around. Now 0-2. What are the situations where maybe you don't want the run rule? Not a lot of innings to get all these pitchers in. Having to play it out by out now. Swing and a miss, that's strike 3. And they've got the runner in a rundown. This could end the ball game. Coronado caught in between and the tag applied. He is out, and that will end the ball game. Trinity wins in a run rule in 7 innings, 17-7 in a game that they were down 5-0.
Has an impressive performance by the Tigers and ends in a very unconventional way. I'm not sure what the play call from the Pirates was there. But no, Tigers get another run rule win. They've done this several times this year, Cole. And I think they are well suited to be the top seed in the conference right now because they're playing like it.
They have now won 12 games in a row as they seem to be peaking at the right time, ready for postseason baseball. That's it from us in San Antonio. But before we go, we want to shout out one more senior, Reed Rosales, my broadcast partner who's worked over 400 events for Tiger Network. Thank you for everything that you've done for us, and we hope that you had a good time. I know you were stuck working with me. I don't know how that affected things, but hope you had a good time on the air, and we appreciate everything you do.
No, this has been one of the best things that happened to me here when I went to Trinity. I have to thank Josh Machigamba, our executive producer, for hiring me in the first place. I know my application wasn't very good, but he let me in anyways.
And why did he do that? I don't know what was going on there. I have to think about that.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was going through his head, but I'm glad he made that decision. I thank Brian Jenselson for getting me up here in the booth for the first time, and my old high school friend Alex Wells for getting me into the sports broadcasting scene to even begin with. It's been the best decision of my life by far, and I hope that this network continues to get better and better, and I know it will with you here next year, and Andrew the year after that will continue to get stronger.
We also got Ariel here standing next to you, another senior, who worked camera today, so give her a shout out while we're at it. But for everybody working behind the scenes on camera in the control room, our executive producer Josh Machigamba, and for my partner Reed Rosales, I'm Cole Isaacson saying so long from San Antonio. See you later.